This is Cash Cobain. If you don't know the name, you might know this tag.
And this beat from Cash, not from YouTube.
And if you don't know the tag, you'll definitely know this song.
I was in a club before she even had it. She was 21.
Cash produced and potentially even wrote this song for Drake. Now, if one of the biggest artists in the world is using your songs, I'm pretty sure you're onto something. In this video, I'm going to uncover the secrets behind his beats that make all these artists want to use them. So let's start by analyzing his production on Calling For You. He sampled this song by Friday. And straight away, we have a key part of his sound. Cash isn't afraid to sample new songs, old songs, and even massive hit songs as well. He puts his art first and doesn't think about sample clearances and all that kind of stuff. The sample he used for Drake is a bit darker than what he uses for his own music, yet it's still melodic, and you know it's a Cash Cobain beat. For our beat, I wanted to find something similar, and as soon as I heard this, I knew it was the one. Cash doesn't tend to chop his samples too much, so I just looped it and began adding drums. Now, Cash's drums are one of a kind. He combines lots of different influences to make something unique. Typically, he starts with a simple drill bounce. He doesn't add all these crazy rolls and stuff. He often even removes notes like this. Then on the Drake song, he used a tonal tom to give it a unique sound. We'll get more into it later, but Cash is the master of making people feel nostalgia through his music. Drake used to use toms all over his music back in the day, in the Take Care era. So Cash using one on this beat gives people something from the old Drake sound, which people crave so much. Then we have a couple more of Cash's signature sounds. Rather than a kick, he uses a stomp, and it also added these gunshot sounds that typically come from Jersey club music, which is fitting as Cash is from New York. And finally, instead of a typical 808, he added a synth bass. Earlier, I mentioned how Cash is the master of nostalgia. He will sample literally anything, even if it seems unclearable. Take his sample of Nelly's Dilemma on this song.
I'm off a perk. It's not the Xanax.
It has that classic R&B sound and is a big enough song to where people can recognize it and instantly connect to Cash's song. For R&B, I found this Mariah Carey sample. Something key to note is that it's in a major scale. Most producers, myself included, are scared to make melodies in the major scale for fear of it being too happy. However, if it's done right, like how Cash does, it can be used to your advantage to make super melodic melodies. I simply filtered it out and added a reverb before moving on to the drums. I started them off just like the last beat with a simple drill hi-hat and clap. Quick note before we move any further is that Cash often uses 150 to 160 tempos. It's quicker than the typical 140 drill music, giving it a bit more energy. Then I added some percussion with a snap, bongo, and triangle. He uses these typical R&B sounds to match with the sample perfectly, rather than using hard snares and trap sounds. And finally, we have a Spins 808, making it hit really hard. And I throw on this Cash Cobain a cappella to see if it works, and well, listen for yourselves.
Destiny, I'm trying to give you the best of me. I wanna get it like recipes, I push it like it was a recipe. Shanti, I wanna make you a mommy. You look good as a redhead, black hair, pink hair, blondie.
And for our final beat, I wanted to see how you can make something like Fisher, which is blowing up right now, especially with the Ice Spice remix.
Got an attitude, what you better say, so I ain't mad at you.
The melodies are super simple, again utilizing that classic R&B sound. For our beat, I played these chords with the classic DX7 and Rhodes. This is something that the 90s and 2000s producers were using a lot. Then I backed up with a quiet pad and a high string sound playing one note. And to top it all off, I added my own vocals just to give an extra melody. Then I started the drums just like the other beats with 2 hi-hats, a clap and snap. Then I did an 808 triangle to accent it, and a kick as well. Now when he uses them, Cash's kicks hit really hard, and he does that by basically boosting it way too far and then adding a soft clipper to the master, making it sound like this. As well as the drill bounce, some of Cash's songs like Rump utilize that Jersey bounce. So for a switch up on ours, I pitched the sample down, added a different subby 808 and added this Jersey breakbeat and vocal loop. And finally, to give it that really nostalgic 2000s kind of sound, I took a trick that Cash seemed to use on Dunk Contest. It's like he almost filtered the whole beat out, cutting some low end, making it feel like it's playing from a phone almost. So I added a lossy to the master, leaving us with this. With cosigns from artists like Drake, Don Toliver, Ice Spice and Pink Pantheress, Cash Cobain's sound is definitely something you need to pay attention to. His way of bringing something new yet nostalgic, and his ability to alter his sound depending on the artist he's working with, is a testament to his skill as a producer. I hope you've learned something new in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.